Hey folks, we need to have a little talk about the chess.com game review and how you might be putting too much importance and weight on it. In front of me, I have two game reviews, and it should be quite obvious it's for the exact same game. But there's one little difference that I'll tell you about near the end. This was a recent game by none other than the famous Magnus Carlsen. I pulled it off his account. It's a recent game he played, and it ended in a draw. Him and both his opponent played a stellar game. In the original review, you will see Magnus Carlsen here with a performance ELO rating of 3550. Now, this is the first thing I want to talk about. If I had to single out the most useless metric on the chess.com game review, first and foremost, the winner, hands down, is this performance ELO. It is meaningless, folks. We need to get that out of the way right away. It is meaningless. For Magnus Carlsen, this game gave him a 3,550 ELO performance. And I see so many people in the YouTube comments and all over the place going, "Oh, I just had a game and it gave me a 2,000 ELO performance." Or my opponent got a 2,000 ELO performance. He must be cheating, or just whatever. It is insane to me because people don't realize that, I have the exact same game over here, but it's showing a performance rating of 950. How can one game be worth 950 ELO and the other game be worth 3,550 ELO? You'll also notice some other weird differences between the two reviews. Even though this is the exact same game, Magnus Carlsen played with 4 inaccuracies and 1 mistake. His opponent played with 3 inaccuracies and 1 mistake. The two gentlemen in the exact same game over here played with 0-0. Isn't a mistake regardless of your ELO level? No, apparently not. The chess.com game review, at the end of the day, is designed to tingle your dopamine receptors. That is its main function. They charge money for it. It has pretty colors. Everyone wants the brilliant. Everyone wants the fancy double exclams. Everyone wants the fancy performance review. And at the end of the day, that's all it is. A dopamine tingler. That's what the chess.com review is. So, you'll see here that the only difference when I uploaded these is that on the side here where you get a measly 950 performance rating but play a flawless game with 0-0-0, the only thing I did was change the ELO of the players. So on chess.com, the game review thinks these players right here are only 100 ELO strength. Therefore, it gave them a 950 ELO performance for this stellar game. But when Magnus Carlsen plays it, he gets a 3,550 performance review. They really need to do away with these numbers. They're so meaningless. I think actually what might be more useful is just similar to the brilliant, great kind of icons and colors. They could just give you, for your rating, was it a good performance, a bad performance, an excellent performance, or a brilliant performance? If I played this Magnus Carlsen game, maybe I get a brilliant double exclam instead of a number. And when he plays it, he gets a great. It should be something like that. Just give you a general nod like you had a good performance. This ELO performance indicator is so meaningless when the same game can be either 3,550 or 950. But I find it very strange that Magnus Carlsen makes mistakes and inaccuracies, but the same game for me or a 100 ELO rated player, it's 0-0-0. So that just goes to show you how flawed the game review is, and I want people to become a little more educated on it and stop putting so much weight on it. The only thing that matters in these reviews is your misses and your blunders. Those are the two things you want to look at. And the overall computer accuracy is a helpful guide, but don't put tons of stock into it. It is useful, but I would put that third ahead of miss or under misses and blunders. Those are the two things you want to look at. Find your misses, find your blunders, maybe briefly look at your mistakes, though sometimes I found the game review calls things a mistake that aren't a mistake according to actual engine lines. So take the mistakes with a grain of salt. Look at your misses, look at your blunders, stop caring about all this other crap. That's all I have to say. I'm going to get out of here. Cheers.